What's up, guys? Welcome to Poor Man Mods. Today we're finally going to work on my 2008 ISF and do the first modifications to it. Nothing too crazy. We're starting off easy with this thing. We're going to be installing LED lights in the headlights. I guess they're the parking light or marker lights. I'm not sure what they're actually considered, but we're going to be putting RGB bulbs in the headlights. We're going to be doing LED reverse lights and also the Freddy trunk light in this thing. So pretty easy day today. We're starting this build off simple. So should be easy, right? So I'll have links to everything that we're going to be installing in the description down below, and let's get started. There's a little bracket that retains the cover for the high beam and the running light. You just need to flip that bracket over and that will pop the cover off. Pretty hard to see with the camera, but it's not too hard to get to. Okay, so here's a side-by-side comparison of the factory incandescent bulb on the left and the LED on the right. You can change colors with the remote. I don't like how it kind of fades to the next color, but you can do red, green, blue, all that good stuff in different modes. Kind of cool. So, definitely illegal for on the road, but cool for car shows. And of course you can do just white. That looks pretty good. But honestly, I don't know, maybe you'll see how long I can get away with the red. I think it looks pretty awesome. It's going to be less noticeable with the headlights though, so let's turn on the headlights and see what it looks like. Yeah, you can still see it. Pretty cool. You can do white to match the headlight. It's definitely more of a blue than a white. To do the passenger side, in order to remove the door that seals the bulbs in the headlight, you have to loosen up the airbox to get this out. If you don't loosen up the airbox, you're just not going to get this out. So take out the 10mm bolts that secure this thing, and you'll be able to get this out. Okay, on to the reverse lights, which are right here in the trunk. So first thing you gotta do is open up the trunk. Okay, the reverse light bulb is pretty much right here. So we need to gain access to it by taking off these clips that hold on this carpet liner, and we can peel it back and get access to the bulb. So use a trim panel removal tool or a flathead screwdriver to get off these clips. This trim panel removal tool works a whole lot better than a flathead. I would definitely recommend it over a screwdriver if you can get one or have one. And yeah, you don't need to take off the whole thing. The bulb is right here. Twist it and pull it out. And somehow the bulb fell out. Okay, whatever. Okay, so here is a side-by-side comparison of the bulbs. The factory incandescent bulb and our super bright LED bulb that has 10 LED chips on it. It's going to be way brighter than the factory bulb. And you know, some companies sell a pair of these bulbs for like $70, $80, $90. Don't be fooled by that crap. Almost all these LED bulbs are made in China, the same factory, and just rebranded. So I have a link to these in the description down below. They're a good price. I wouldn't bother with the $90 ones. These are going to treat you just fine. So let's get these installed. And what we're going to do is plug it into the connector. And before we put it back in, we're going to put the car in reverse and see if it lights up. And if it doesn't light up, we're going to pull it out, rotate it 180 degrees, and stick it back in. Okay, it's in reverse. The bulb is not lit up, so we'll pull it out and stick it back in. Oh, maybe it's just a bad connection. Might just have to mess with these little wires coming out of the LED to make it contact the socket properly. Oh yeah, much better. Now we'll stick it back in. Stick it in! Pretty freaking simple to do the reverse light bulb on this car. Just gotta reinstall these 3 clips, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison and install the bulb on the other side. How about that? Oh yeah, that LED is looking a whole lot better, but I think just the design of this housing, I don't think we're gonna be able to get that much projection out of these lights. Now, they're definitely gonna be brighter, but I'm not sure how much it's actually gonna help us see. Just because of the design of this housing, it's really not meant to illuminate anything, it's just to alert the people that you're in reverse. But let's get a good side-by-side comparison of how much brighter it is. I'm gonna back it up against this wall and see if it does project any more light. But just by looking at it, you can clearly see it is brighter. Okay, here is a side-by-side comparison of the incandescent and the LED reverse light bulb. To me, it looks like the incandescent might be more concentrated, but I think the LED puts out more light, and it's pretty much scattering. It's going all the way to the right and to the left. So there is just the LED bulb, and it's pretty good. It's lighting up to the left a lot, and also to the right. It's not so much just straight out, it's just the design of the housing. And there is the incandescent, a lot dimmer, a lot more yellow, but I think the light is more concentrated, just kind of more straight back. But I think the LED has a much larger pattern and does put out more light. And it's a nice white color, so why don't we put the other LED in and see a difference in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I now have the LEDs installed onto the driver and the passenger side, and this is looking a lot brighter, a lot more light spread out, just like you want. And yeah, this is definitely gonna help out with backing up. I'm not super satisfied with this result. I mean, these LEDs are very bright just by looking at them, but they're really bottlenecked by the housing, the reverse light housing itself. I really don't think you're gonna get much better with this design. These housings were not meant to project light so you can see. They're just meant to alert other drivers that you're in reverse. So this is probably as good as you're gonna get. And you know, anything helps, and this is definitely better than factory. But now let's get to installing that Fredtech trunk light in the trunk, because the OEM trunk light in this thing is absolutely pathetic. Okay, so here is the Fredtech trunk light that we're going to be installing in this ISF. Now, this will work for the IS250, 350, and the F. They're all the same. But this thing is actually really cool. So it plugs in just like the OEM light bulb. It has this adapter right here, and it attaches to the carpet liner in the trunk. There's no double-sided tape you have to worry about. It comes with a Velcro backing. So this is gonna stick right to the trunk, and you plug it in just like it's the light bulb, and then you can use the remote to change colors or make it white or whatever. So super easy, and it's gonna make this trunk a whole lot brighter, and you can do different colors and such. So it's probably the easiest thing that we're gonna be doing to this F. So let's pop the trunk and get this thing in. And I will have a link to this in the description down below. So here is a before shot of the factory incandescent trunk light. It is pretty unimpressive. Like, I have a white paper floor mat in that trunk and you can hardly see it. Pretty ridiculous and pathetic. I don't know why they gave you such a crappy light from the factory. So let's ditch this crappy incandescent bulb and get the Fredtech in. Grab a flathead screwdriver and pull down on the passenger side of the light, and it'll pop right out. We're gonna unplug this connector just to make it a little bit easier. Then you're gonna pop off this protective cover. And there is your pathetic, puny factory bulb. Then you're gonna take the adapter from the Fredtech light and plug it in just like it was the original bulb. This thing's a little big, so you might have to bend these prongs back a little bit to make it fit, but it will fit. Okay, so there it is. It does fit. You're gonna want the side with the black wire on the side with the connector, and the red wire on this side. If you don't have it in this orientation, it won't light up. It will only work one way. So if you go to put this in and it doesn't light up, flip it around, make sure it's like this, and it should light up, and now we can plug it in. All right, plug it in, flip the switch to on, and now it's lit up. You don't need to worry about this. If you really want to, you could put it back on, but it's not needed. I'm gonna shove some of the wire and the connector back up in there. Snap it into place, and then this just sticks anywhere to the carpet because it's Velcro. So you can put it wherever you want. So easy. You don't have to worry about cleaning the surface, messing with alcohol or anything like that. It just sticks on. And then the controller sticks on too. And this little guy is the infrared receiver for the remote. And now it's installed. The trunk is super bright and it changed the colors. How cool is that? And if you don't want any of this wire hanging down, you can shove more of it back up into the trunk, but when you're standing at it, you can't really tell. But since you're down below, you can see it, but you can shove a little bit more back up in there. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's freaking beautiful. Now that is what I'm talking about. That is more like it's so much brighter than the factory bulb. That is on the white setting, and with the remote, you can change colors and even change modes. I really like this mode. Make it a little bit quicker. Yeah, that's what I like. And in case you were wondering, it does turn off when you close the trunk. It works just like the factory trunk light bulb. With the trunk closed, it's off, and when you open it up, it turns back on. So this is pretty nice. The color changing bulbs that I put in the headlights came with this remote, and the Fredtech light came with this remote. So I have two, but they actually work together. So the Fredtech light will control the trunk, and this remote will also work for the headlight bulbs. And the remote for the headlight bulbs will also control the trunk. So I don't need two remotes. I can have a spare, put it away somewhere, so I don't need two remotes in the car. That's really nice. I really like that a lot. A little bit less clutter. You could hide one in the trunk in case you lose the other one. Keep one in the center console. I think that's what I might do. Alright guys, there you go. Nothing too crazy. Got the RGB lights installed in the headlights. The reverse lights are in, and the Fredtech trunk light. It's looking really good. I'll have links to everything that I installed in this video in the description down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe it helped you out. Stay tuned for more content on this ISF, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.